Hi, my name is Dave Barnes and welcome to Dave's DIY. Today we're talking about smart switches, and particularly this one from Innovelli. I've really been impressed with some of the innovations that have come forth out of the smart switching area. Needless to say, this has got a lot of technology built into it. One of the things I like about this switch is that you can program the switch to do many different things, or different scenes that they call it, with the amount of taps that you do on the up or the down. So you can program this all through your SmartThings app, and then contour that with FITTT or whatever to do anything within your home, like turn off all the lights, turn off put down the garage door, lock the front door. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So the one nice thing is that it gives you a lot of flexibility, and you can change that at any point in time. So in the box comes everything you need. First of all, the smart switch. Then these little screws that you're always losing, and then an extra neutral wire. This is a longer neutral wire that you can plug in, or you can tie into your existing neutral. One of the things that these smart switches require is a white neutral. So if you open up your switch and only find black wires or only find white wires or whatever, that is not going to work. You have to have the black and the white, and of course the copper ground. So in order for this switch to work, because you have the constant coming in and then going up to the lights, you're going to have a black and a white and a black and white come in. You're going to need to use all those in order for this to work. It also comes with these face plates. Now there's a white and an almond, so depending on what you're using throughout the house, you can match that. So on the smart switch, you have a couple different places where the wires go. You've got line, you've got load, you've got traveler, and you've got neutral. So you're going to have, from the breaker box, you're going to have a wire coming up that's got a black and a white and then a ground. That is called your line. Then you're going to have a black, a white, and a neutral going up to the lights. That's called your load. So you're going to take your black wire from your line, from your breaker, and then put it into this part right here where it says line. You're going to then take your neutral, your white, from the breaker and put it in here where it says neutral. From the load, or from the light, then you're going to take your black wire and put it in here at the load, and then take that same white and then put it here within the neutral part. Your two copper grounds together and attach them to this green screw up on top. We're going to go ahead and illustrate that now.
Go ahead and undo the faceplate for the switch. As this has been on the wall for several years, this might be a little difficult to pop off the wall. Then go ahead and undo the switch and slowly and carefully pull it out, because the power is still on. At this point in time, you're going to figure out which one is the line and the load. The line is going to have the power to it. So turn off the switch and turn it back on, and you can figure out which one is which. Then go ahead and turn off your breaker, and then double and triple check that there is no power going to that switch. Go ahead first and undo and take off the ground wire. Untwist the different wires and make sure that nothing's bound up, and you still know which one is the line and the load. Perhaps if you're unsure, it would probably be best to mark or to do something that indicates which is which. Go ahead and pull out the line, or the one that's got the power to it, from the breaker, and attach that immediately to the new switch. I do this so that there's no confusion on what is being paired on the new switch. be sure that you crank this screw down all the way. I've had numerous amounts of these pop out while you're twisting the wires around. Once you have the line connected to the right place, go ahead and bring the load over from the old switch to the new switch. Again, you're going to want to crank down this screw to make sure that it doesn't come out. Now, this is where you're going to need to do an extension from your neutral wire to the new switch. Of course, this comes with, the package comes with an extra wire to do this. What you're going to do is you're going to use that existing wire nut and put the extension neutral wire, and make sure again you crank this thing down really nice and tight. And then it is clearly marked on the switch on which one it should go in. Fairly simple. And typically all switches are going to have brass fittings for the hot, or for the line and for the load. Typically for the neutral, it is going to be a stainless steel fitting.
There we go.
These are a little long for my taste. I take off a little bit so it fits all the way into the place where it goes into the switch. That initial wire is a little long and could bottom out at the end, so I snip off a little bit and crank it down. As I stated before, you really got to crank these wires down. One of the black wires popped out because I did not tighten it up. I'll have to go ahead and put it back in and tighten it down. Go ahead and put that wire back in and crank it down really nice and tight. That's how it should look. Go ahead and install the switch back into the wall, and take notice, and it says this right on the switch, which end is up. You want to make sure that you're putting the up end up and the bottom end down. This will correspond with when you're turning on and off the switch. Go ahead and put the cover back on, which is supplied with the switch, and you are basically done at this point. Fairly simple. Go ahead and turn back on your circuit breaker, and then go ahead and power up your SmartThings app on your phone. You're going to go into Add a Device, and it's going to start to search. At this point in time, you're going to want to turn the switch on and off for it to be recognized by the SmartThings device. And then you can go ahead and rename it to whatever you want to do. And this is my hallway, so I'm going to name it my family room hallway. Enter that in. Go ahead and find it and test it out. And it looks like it's working just fine.
So as you can see, the installation is really simple. It's basically 2, 3, 4 wires. You've got 4 tools, flat-headed screwdriver, Phillips head, needle nose pliers, and your electrical tester. And that's it. Takes you probably about 10-15 minutes to install it. The hardest thing is figuring out which circuit breaker goes to this switch. But really, at the end of the day, I'm really quite happy with this. I'm able to already hook it up to my device, and I can turn those lights on and off. I'll probably go ahead and connect this to my garage door opener, that when the garage door comes up and it's after whenever it is dark throughout the day, it will turn on this light, and the kitchen lights, as we walk into the house, there will be lights that are on. It's one of the things I really like about this, is that it adds additional security for the house and visibility in the house. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining us for Dave's DIY, and we hope to catch you next time. Thank you. It also comes with what are these called?
A faceplate.
Faceplate.